to Your Voice Heard with Dr. Marilyn Pendelton. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Your Voice Heard with Dr. Marilyn Pendelton. And we are so excited to have you here as our viewers. And what we aim to do is encourage people that they can recover and be resilient from any type of loss or change in their life. We want to share this platform as a place so that grievers can share their experience, how they recovered from any type of loss that they've experienced, and may it encourage you in your life, because of course our vision is to heal, inspire, educate, and empower. And we have Regina Longo here. Regina is a highly trained transformational empowerment coach, motivational speaker, and yoga teacher with over 20 years of experience in the health and wellness industry. Regina's magnetic energy and dedication helps people to live a healthier and more fulfilling life with passion and purpose. I love the word purpose. Yeah. She guides you to discover your true power and awaken your greatness within to live the life of your dreams and desires. She is a private coaching, group training programs, signature coaching course, and yoga classes, which are designed to lead you beyond change and catapult you to the success that are meant for you. It's pure transformation. Regina earned her BA in psychology and sociology. She has studied with the highly recognized International Coach Academy and completed her life coaching certification with the Life Coach Institute. Regina is a registered yoga and meditation teacher through nationally recognized Yoga Alliance and has studied under the Baptiste Institute. Regina is located in the suburbs of Philadelphia and has a national and international clientele. Thank you for being here with us, Regina. I really appreciate that. And I just love our synergy and the time that we've spent together previously.
Yes.
So, tell us about your journey to yoga. How did you become a yoga teacher, your motivation?
Well, that's a lovely question. 20 some years back now, I'm the youngest of six, and I was always an athlete, and my siblings are my best friends, and we did everything and anything together. And my sisters were Baron Baptiste, who's world renowned and known for his yoga method, and his parents and followed generation after generation teaching yoga. He happened to live in the Philadelphia area. He was actually the yoga Philadelphia Eagles studied under him as well. He was the master yoga teacher for them back when he was here in the late 90s, early 2000s. Then he moved throughout the country and on to his way. But I studied under him, and I was fortunate and blessed that he was teaching locally at a facility, and my sisters would go to his class, and they invited me to go along. And I remember distinctly in the middle of class, I happened to be in the middle of the two of them, and I looked to my left and right and said, please don't ever take me back here again. It really didn't connect with me and resonate with me. And they did just exactly that. They let me go. They didn't force me. And it just turned out maybe a week or so later, I asked them to take me back. And ever since then, it's just been a piece of me. And, when I say that, it was me finding a piece of myself, which we're all a masterpiece in our own way. And that was my piece of my master, my higher self coming together. So it's a little over 23, 24 years ago now that I started that.
Mhm. And how has yoga been very instrumental in helping you heal or recover from any type of loss in your life?
Well, it's a big modality for healing and overcoming. I don't really like that word overcoming, but receiving, I should say, and
Mm,
accepting to be able to move forward, healing from it, because it really is a body, mind, and soul modality. You are connecting your emotional energy centers along with your human self, the physical body itself, and breath work. So all that coupled together is the connection. It's really the formula, if you will. It's the recipe
mhm,
to connect to the full potential of yourself. And without it, it's a meditation. It's a moving meditation. The yoga practice itself, the asana is what it's called in
mhm.
Sanskrit. The seated meditation is the seated form of a meditation um, without the movement. And without that, you're just living the ordinary. But when you bring it all together is where you tap into the potentials, as I mentioned, the extraordinary version of yourself. So,
And you know what? And I will tell you, I have been to yoga classes. Well, at some jobs they might have someone to come in and do yoga, and I just really didn't connect with it. But when you held the class in the Dominican Republic,
yeah.
and it was an activity that the wedding guests could participate in. All right, and admittedly, I was not physically participating. I was tired.
You were still participating.
I was taking pictures.
Yes.
I was very happy to take pictures and just be present in your class and in that aspect. And I connected then. It was you say transformational, it was transformational, and the way you guided and spoke with the participants and worked them, walk them through all of that. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. And thank you. I appreciate that. And I like that you shared that because you very much were a participant, energetically being there and witnessing and observing is being a participant. And that's what meditation's about. It's us elevating, right? And observing our human self. So we are a participant of that. But that part that you're talking about is I think what sets me apart, and we all have our own unique gifts and talents that, back in the day, I tried to avoid so much and I dabbled in and out of yoga and stepping back into corporate because I was trying to identify with what societal norms wanted us to identify with.
Mhm,
But what I found and I really embrace is my gift of walking people through not just information, because we can get information anywhere through
right.
AI, through Chat GPT, through Google, Bing, all that stuff. There's a plethora of it out there. It's the transformation that
Mhm.
people are seeking, and my gift of guiding and delivering a message and bringing that all together, harmonizing that all together, like a puzzle piece, if you will, and let it click, is the true essence of what you experienced as an observer and the people physically taking the class got to experience as well. The key ingredient, though, whether, like I said, seated meditation and observing or participating in the physical movements of it, is how you're receiving it. Because if you're blocked in any way,
Mhm.
with anything, you can't receive the message, you can't receive the breath, you can't receive the dialogue going back and forth. If you're having a conversation with someone as we are here, you have to
Yeah.
be open to that, and that takes something. That's what the transformation is all about. That's the connection. That's the formula I'm talking about the body, mind, and soul. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And this is a great segue because when we're talking about transformation
Yes.
and you being a transformational coach, and I really saw that in the yoga class and motivational speaking. Tell us more about you in that particular area or arena.
Yeah. Um, when I'm coaching with people and, facilitating coaching a group of people in a yoga class, I'm guiding them in a way to safely become aware of how they identify themselves and the limitations and the beliefs that they're carrying around, and give them the opportunity uh, to set down or set aside their ego, which we all have, right? That's part of our human self. To set it down, and just for the time we're together, whether I'm in a coaching session, facilitating a retreat for a day or a week, or a yoga class, to set it down just for a little while. And if it feels that uncomfortable after we have our time together, you can always pick it back up, because it really is like a suit that you could put right back on. And if you want to remain the same and not change and transform, you could put that ego right back on. So it's about giving yourself permission. And I hope, my hope is to safely guide people um, to have that desire and that willingness to have trust in me, but more importantly, trust in themselves to set that down.
Yeah, that's very important, a very important point to that we allow ourselves
Mm.
to be vulnerable
Yes.
and be open. And oftentimes we don't do that.
Yeah.
And when you talk about safety, safety is extremely important when you're in a one-to-one or if you're in a group setting. And that will encourage us to move forward. That'll encourage the relationship. And I can see just being in that class how people were felt safe and encouraged and embraced and loved and cared for in that class. I was like, well, can I go and change my clothes
Thank you.
and come back?
And that's
So,
exactly what I was
I
doing.
did take the opportunity to look at your website.
Okay.
It's amazing. It is beautiful. And I see that there is a retreat in Utah. Well, this is a two-piece question.
Okay.
There's a retreat in Utah in August 7th to the 10th.
Yes.
And I would like you to tell the audience about your retreats and what they encompass and what participants can look towards. And also, do the retreats always have to be in Utah? Are they closer,
Yes. Thank you. Great question.
like in the Poconos
Yeah,
or?
yeah. I have in the past done some local, and in the near future we'll be doing some in the local, tri-state area as well. And I've also ran some internationally. I've done just last year. I was in uh, Tulum, Mexico. I was also in what we know here on the eastern side of the country. I was in Cape May County of Cape May, New Jersey,
Mhm.
Stone Harbor area, and I ran a 3-day retreat there. But this upcoming one, coming this August of 2024 in Utah, is the theme behind that is discover our soul's magic, discover your soul's magic, because we all have this potential inside of us.
Mhm.
We all have these dreams and the desires, and that's my work, is to help bring you to the door, so to speak, or to the edge of the cliff. But only you can walk through the door, and on the other side of that door, all the potentials are hidden in plain sight. When I work a retreat, whether it's a 3-day retreat, a 4-day retreat, a week-long retreat, I have the individuals themselves and me. We have time together where we're really investing in ourselves. It's not just a 15-minute meditation or 20 minutes of reading a chapter in the book. We're really getting honed in and we're getting into the depth of the work to really peel apart what no longer serves us and set it down once and for all. So retreats are really transformational in that way because we also come together with like-minded people. Some we may know, like if you tell a friend and you know you come as a group of people together, but you're also going to meet new people, and you might be there with someone you know, but you're going to learn at a different level about that individual because, as I said just moments ago, I'm going to invite everybody to like literally unzip, if you will,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
ego and set it down for the time we are together so we can really get to the true essence of ourselves. Because the true
Mm.
essence of ourselves is really magical, it's really extraordinary. And that's what people are most afraid of, their self.
Yes, yes. And when you speak about your true self or being your authentic self,
Yeah,
that kind of ties into what we continually hear about imposter syndrome.
that's right.
So, do you feel that that is helping people emerge from them feeling like they're being an imposter
Yeah.
and guiding them to be their authentic selves?
Yes. That's a great question, and that is the underlying thing. Like everybody, not just in our generation, but in society, it's a societal norm to mask your feelings. I mean, we were told from a very young age, be a good little girl, be a good little boy, which kind of taught us right then and there to not really express our emotions if we were feeling sad or hurt. You know, just be quiet, be a good little girl for now, we'll deal with it later. And we never really dealt with it later, so to speak. Well, that later keeps getting buried and buried or masked, if you will, in the imposter syndrome. And the way the world and is awakening now, people do want to set it down. They just don't know how to set it
Hmm.
down. And that's where, someone like myself, teachers, coaches, we come in therapists, we come healers coming in to help carry them carry them along the way. But
Yeah.
ultimately, it is the individual having that will, and that's what free will is all about, having
Hmm.
the will, which is really courage and faith to put it down.
And with your clientele, let's say, what what do you think is usually the biggest obstacle for them to um, stopping them, prohibiting them from unzipping, taking
Yeah,
off that suit, or putting
wonderful.
things down?
Yeah, they're more concerned of what other people, friends, peers, lovers, partners, siblings are going to think of them, and
Hmm.
colleagues, which actually is degrading their worthiness even more. So, what transformational empowerment coaching helps people do is find their worthiness, really self love, because stop abandoning self, to really answer your question in short, because we put more emphasis on what other people think of us, but we're still wounded then inside. We're still hurt.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
question always
That's
is,
true.
what influence are you under? What voice are you listening to? The voice of the ego, like if I do this, I'll be received. Even us as adults, we're like, I'll be received by my colleagues, my peers, or my partner as a good little girl. We're still referring to ourselves as good little girls, good little boys. When you take on that responsibility, when you are accountable, the adult, mature soul level of you carries you through and takes
Yes.
the girl, the wounded little girl and the wounded little boy. And that's where the healing takes place, which is what we call alignment, the body,
A-
mind, and soul.
and in that alignment,
Yeah.
it mitigates that oppression, them being silenced or putting into a box.
Mhm.
And just as you uh, mentioned before, it's helping them to realize their dreams
Yes,
and their life potential.
that's right. The potentials are there, hidden in plain sight for everybody. Not one
Hmm.
of us, is slighted from that, and that alignment. Well, and we all know whether we're in alignment or not. Like we go to get in our car. Most of us are in cars, not a tricycle or a three-wheel car or a flying car just yet. But we know if one of the tires has less air by the way it feels.
Yes.
We also know if a whole tire is missing by the way it feels. So if
Hmm.
we just tune into this apparatus, this vehicle, our body, and how do you feel? That's how you know whether you're in or out of alignment, or you're oppressing yourself from the true essence of self, your dreams, your desires, your potentials. They're there in
Hmm.
plain sight waiting for us.
And we can find ourselves so busy doing stuff that we don't have the opportunity to tune in
Yes,
and block out those false narratives
that's right.
that we receive to allow us to look inward.
Yes,
And that's essentially what I hear you're saying is you're also guiding people to look in and not
yeah,
look out. And that was such a pivotal statement that you said in that class
yeah,
for them to look inward,
right.
to look in first and then out.
That's exactly right. We were taught the other way around. Like even you and I here, uh, sharing time together, we're using our human eye. We're looking out. If you look around the room that you're in, if we look at the screens that we're on, we of course we see solid things. We don't think it's limited, but we're looking at material things, things that are already in form, and that's
Mhm.
the whole thing of getting quiet, the stillness of the mind, and even closing the physical eyelids. When we close our eyes and we connect to our feelings and our dreams and desires, we could see the vastness of so much more than what our human eye does. And when I guide people through meditation, I just do it just to give them an idea if they're on the fence of doing the work or not, because they always say, I don't have time to meet one on one or group coaching or go to a retreat. I'm so busy. Well,
Mhm.
busy's boring, right? We're going to get stuck in that, right? But so
Yeah.
I say to them, like, close your eyes, and I just want you to envision like a clear blue, crystal clear blue sky with not a cloud in it. And I say to them, can you see it? And they're like, yeah, yeah. And I say, now just let your gaze, come and balance out and look straight out and forward. Can you see an ocean? What color is your ocean? Is it turquoise? Is it, clear, crystal clear blue? Is it like, greenish? And then look even further. Do you see like a boat? Is your boat a yacht? Is it a sailboat? And they're doing all that with their eyes closed. You see, you're seeing so
Mhm.
much more. And then I say, open your eyes. Do you see that boat? And they're like, no. So going in
Mhm.
is the grandness. That's where the potential is. That's where the greatness is. That's what everybody's seeking. So once you go within and you get plugged in there, you'll never be without.
And I appreciate you sharing that people say, "Oh, I don't have time."
Yes.
People make time for what they want to
Yes.
and what is a priority for them. And sometimes they don't make time because they're afraid,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they're afraid of change and what that change will mean for them personally, but also what that change will mean in the relationships around
That's
around them.
that's right. That's exactly it for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well, Regina, I just I would like you to share with our audience how they can connect with you? Of course, it'll be at the end of the credits, but can you share with them all of your social media handles, your email, your website? Can you give
Yes.
them all that information?
I'm blessed that I made it really simple on my website and all my social media platforms and even my own personal YouTube channel. That's the only one that's slightly different. Everything is reginalongo.com for my website, and all of my social media, as far as LinkedIn and uh, Facebook and Instagram, is Regina Longo. And then my YouTube is Regina Longo Academy, because I share on there some of my own podcast episodes, some of my teachings and meditations. And there's so much more to come, but it's real easy to find me that way.
Oh, that is amazing. Thank you so much. And speaking of time, I am going to make time to, if I'm not on an airplane, to come out and participate in your class, in another class,
Yeah,
actually physically and emotionally, uh, be present in a class with
thank you.
my dear one. So, but I just appreciate this time together. It's a short period of time, but I also want the audience to know that the day after this airs will be International Yoga Day. And so it just, everything is in alignment,
Yes.
and I look forward to hopefully spending some more time with you. And yes, let me put your information out on social media, and I just look forward to connecting with you some more and actually attending one of your retreats.
Thank you. The feeling is beyond mutual. Thank you for hosting me. I look forward to connecting with you more as well and having you come to a class.
Thank you. And everyone, once again, you're here. We're wrapping up with Dr. Marilyn Pendleton, Your Voice Heard with Dr. Marilyn Pendleton, where our vision is to heal, inspire, educate, and empower. Have an amazing day.